clobberin'. It's clobberin' time.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Whoa! Hey, my good friends. Greetings, clobberers and clobberanimos and clobberuskis and everybody out there in the clobberverse. Welcome to Clobberin' Times. This number 485 on YouTube, 1,185 overall Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk spectacular two-part double feature, whatever you want to call it. Clobby's Classic Christmas Comics Review. It's a double feature tonight. We'll have one show tonight for a little while, and then I'll come back later at the usual time. But I wanted to do one early here so I could spend time with my fantastic buddy and great guest, J-Man. Welcome, man. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me back on for another Bob Haney. This has like been the highlight. I've been waiting for this since the last one. I'm like, oh, we got to do more of these.
We call this a wacky world of Bob Haney presentation, because is it not a wacky world? Is it not just insane?
Oh, it's insane, but I kind of understand it. I think I'm connecting more with Bob as we read these. This is not a good thing, but I'm getting into his mindset, so that's good.
Bob was a beautiful genius. Let's face it.
Right.
Something. For those who were not here for our last one, you can find if you go to our channel. I mean, I have a Clobby's Classic Comics Review playlist with all the different comics we have reviewed so far, in which we started. Well, I started a couple back in 2020, but of course 2022 is this year. We've when we started it officially just 1 year ago, and reviewed some really cool stuff, and got a lot of other cool stuff coming in. 2023, I may even review even more comics, and it's been so much fun doing these. Yeah, I can't wait. I got one tonight, and I got one more, and I'll probably do one more before the year ends as well. So it's just been great. But if you could find the first one we did, just speaking of Bob Haney for a second, last month, J-Man and I embarked upon, we began this bold journey into the Bob Haney verse, journey into insanity, into Zany Haney, with our Sergeant Rock 124 review. Was that not? I mean, have you read a more bonkers comic than that? That's just so mind-boggling. I mean, maybe you have. I haven't. I love it. Oh, thank you.
That's the link. That's the link
there.
to the
Thank
Brave and the Bold. Yeah, right there.
Yes, if you have not seen that, and and thank you again, by the way, because it was a lot of fun reviewing that.
That was awesome. I'm going to buy all these. There's a comic book show on the 27th that Sean and I go to. And I'm going to try to get these as I have to. Like they're too good.
They are. So Bob. For those who like team up comics, and there's a great book called that just came out by TwoMorrows. It's the company I'm always talking about, called the Team Up Companion. Just came out a few months back. Bob Haney's the father of the comic book team up.
Okay.
Bob Haney, that book, it treats him as such because he's really the first true team up comic book was Brave and the Bold, because again, then they had to go through semantics of explaining the true definition in superhero parlance of what a superhero team up is. It's not a team book.
Right.
It's not a book with multiple characters just happen to be in it. They have to be a book with superheroes who are normally, free agents upon their own, teaming up in the comic as a series. In other words, yes, it's not a crossover either. A crossover would be like when Daredevil hangs out with Spider-Man or something like that, or one character goes into the book of another, that sort of thing. It's none of those things. It's a title, a team-up title that is expressly meant for one hero to team up with another, in some case various ones.
Right.
And that was Brave and the Bold.
And that started a little bit later on. I was researching a bit. It started around, I think, was it issue 50 or something? And then in the 70s.
Around that. It was started in the silver in around 63 or 2, somewhere up in there. I forget the exact year. But it was not World's Finest. Some people think it's World's Finest. That doesn't count. When in the first few years, number of 10-something years of World's Finest, it was just Batman and Superman on the cover. They weren't even teaming up inside the comic. And then later, it started being about their adventures together as a team. But a team-up book is where a hero teams up with a different superhero every month. That's what that companion defines it as. So you've got World's Finest, Marvel Team Up, Marvel 2-in-1, DC Comics Presents, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So it looks like it was issue number 50 started to become like a team up book. And then it says like, I'm just looking at Wikipedia, around 74, it was pretty much Batman and someone else every time.
Yes, that is exactly right. Batman took over the book, and for a gigantic chunk of those stories, a man named Bob Haney, who was such a maverick as a writer, let's say, they had to create a whole Earth for him. They called it Earth B.
Yes.
And basically, after I do a couple of show notes, I'll explain more about that. Let's go do some show notes first, though. Let's see here. I will, of course, be hanging out with the great Midnight's Edge After Dark gang tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, as always, with Tom and those wonderful folks over there. I think I'll be there anyway. I think I'll be there. What else? And then Wednesday night, I suppose we will. I guess the comic book roundtable with Loki. I think we're having it. I'll make sure. I don't know, but I can tell you what is going to happen Wednesday night. But first, I'll tell you what's happening later after this show. After this show, because I forgot that 9 p.m. tonight, I will be reviewing or taking a look at reviewing. Call it what you will. Superman: Peace on Earth by Alex Ross and Paul Dini. And then Wednesday night, the lovely, wonderful Purple Valkyrie will join me to talk a little Dr. Doom Christmas. Yes, what the Xmas special number 10. Santa Doom, but the story by John Byrne, the story you thought never could happen. And then, of course, there'll be Clobby's Clubhouse Thursday night. With Raquel and Mark, and we will be celebrating. We'll have a little Clobby's Clubhouse Christmas party. How about that? Then Friday night, I'll be with Nick Weiser. And Thursday night, of course, before the Clubhouse, I'll be at Midnight's Edge After Dark. And then Friday night, I will be with the great Nick Weiser's Friday Night Comic Shop, 8:30 Central. We will be reviewing a few different Christmas comics, similar to how, we're doing that here tonight. Well, the gang and I will review a couple of Batman Christmas comics. Just as this past week, we reviewed some Batman animated Christmas stuff. Anyway, and some Justice League animated Christmas stuff. Let's see. And then Saturday night, Christmas Eve. No Saturday Night Star Trek till next year. but I will be here hanging out. Anybody wants to pop in and say hi? I'll have a bit of a clobby Christmas going on. And yeah, so that's all that we got going on right now. Let's say some hellos, shall we? And let's say some hellos to some friends of ours. First of all, let's acknowledge the great wrenches in the chat. Or even if they're not here, they all get a shout out, including the wrench who I'm talking to tonight.
Oh, wow.
J-Man.
Yes.
The wrench without fear.
I love it.
J-Man.
That's awesome.
I know you were a DD fan.
Big time. It actually had my logo. My logo is the He-Man logo with the instead of an H, it's a J. But at one point, I actually made a Daredevil logo because I love Daredevil so much. I was actually going to do a Daredevil themed kind of thing. And I
cool.
thought, but I was going to say J-Man without fear, but I actually like, so I stuck with
J-Man without fear. I meant to put that.
Oh, I like the wrench without fear. That's great.
Well, thank you so much for hanging with me, and I appreciate you, buddy. We've got, of course, he's not here tonight. Whether he's here or not, our wrenches get a shout out. The great Eric K, the Bronze Wrencher, the Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia. Thank you so much for all you do, buddy. I'm not looking at the chat now, so I don't know who's here, who isn't. I'm just going to shout him out. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron, and the Clobony man himself, the great comic book artist of Clobbering Times, Hungry Boy. And of course, Avon lives, and long live the Legion to the great Lord Thoth. Then there's that rascal, Phantom Outsider. He's being outside of his phantomness. And Kal-El, buddy, the Super Wrench. Hey, buddy. Appreciate you. I don't know if he's here or not, but we're shouting him out anyway. I'll find out because I'll look at the chat in a second when we shout it out. And of course, Maddie's daddy, my good friend Steve Betchum, Thor of Vegas. Assist from that for the great Chris Persia. Thank you for that. I think Polymus Minion popped in earlier, so let's say hi to the pupper. Love you. Thank you, Polymy. Love you. I'm glad you're here. Let's see who else bees here, and let's say some hellos to our friends here before we get started. Comic Relief Crusader. Hey, Claude Selling. Hey there. Dave G. Sound. Hello. Lemon Pie. Hey there. Picasso. What's up? Bush McFadden. Hey, good to see you, my friend. Brian Hepburn. I think we got everybody. There we go. You know, every time I see our new friend Picasso, you know, the opening to my old song that I had on Blog Talk Radio for 11 years and 700 episodes, J-Man, was a song from a film. I don't know if you know it.
Oh,
one of my favorite films, Repo Man.
Oh, I have the Criterion
nice.
Blu-ray. Yes, for sure. I love Repo Man.
I have the old. I don't have the Blu-ray, but I have the old DVD set that came in a tin box shaped like a license plate.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's a collector's item. I haven't seen that.
It came with a soundtrack too, the Repo Man soundtrack, and of course, as you know, there's that song on there. Pablo Picasso was never called an asshole. I would play like that song. I would open my song with like the first 3 or 4 minutes of that of my old BTR when you could play any music you wanted and not get in trouble.
Right,
on YouTube, and that was my theme forever. So anyway, folks, who is Bob Haney? Bob Haney is a master of comic book writing. Not an artist at all. All he did was write, and he started out in the golden age, somewhere around the late 40s, and wrote throughout the 50s, and then started writing for different a couple of the different magazine houses that produce comics, but he generally got a job at National, which of course is DC. He's written other books like Teen Titans, Aquaman, a few others here and there, and World's Finest. But he I think he's most noted and most known for his work on Brave and the Bold, the team up book featuring Batman and other guest stars. And I've known of his writing for years, but I think back in the 80s, I remember when I first became aware of some of his stuff. There was some of you may remember a little thing called Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yep.
Well, this company came along, AG's index. They started doing these crisis indexes, cashing in on Crisis. I don't know how they got away with it. DC couldn't have been happy. But I remember buying the crisis indexes, and there was one of them that was like a Crisis on Infinite Earths, like appendix thingy. It was talking about the different, multiverse, the planets and all the different Earths or what have you.
Right.
And they had one for Earth B, and in the description they were talking about Earth B. basically Bob Haney or Murray Boltinoff, his editor, but mainly Bob Haney, because he had no sense of continuity. If you read any Bob Haney story, he's likely to have one where he's walking around as a young Bruce Wayne in World War II. I mean, he's got him all over the place.
Right.
In other words, he has Wildcat hanging around, but Wildcat, when he should be like in his 70s, just like, spry as spring chicken. He has Batman, he has Bruce. He just doesn't care about continuity whatsoever. And the other editors of some of the other books used to get angry with it, but he used to get away with it because, Brave and the Bold outsold a lot of the other comics. Bob Haney comics sold very well. The sales were good on them.
Yeah.
Turns out, if you stick Batman in a comic book, Batman comics were for kids with another superhero, right?
Right. He always manages to pick the weirdest. Like it's like he doesn't pick someone that fits the story because he's just like, oh, let's do Plastic Man. It's like, oh, okay.
He doesn't care. Well, not only that, he doesn't write Batman like Batman.
Right.
Batman never really acts like we think Batman should act. Very rarely acts like even the Dark Knight detective that around that time had been reintroduced by Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams.
Yeah, so it's like this Batman is really, I mean, the last one was really out of character. This one's a little bit out of character too, which we'll get to, but
the last one was really weird. I mean, this one is too, but his stories are always just, they never really have any kind of internal sense. They don't make, I mean, they like I said, it's just, and he's got a very weird writing style. Well, he'll put really crazy things in it and just go with it, man. Just whatever. For example, we'll start off the bat with one. So here's the comic. This comic, of course, folks, is called it's Brave and the Bold number 148. It's from 1978. The night the mob stole Xmas. Merry Xmas. You see Xmas. They have Xmas all over the place in this comic.
Xmas, yeah, what is that?
I don't. There's a couple of times I actually slip and say Christmas. Xmas is not offensive. It shouldn't be, but there have been times when I remember back then anyway, like in the 70s or 80s and 90s, because I was raised in a Christian family, and I used to hear complaints when people would see the word Xmas, and you would see maybe I'd see back then I would see bumper stickers because there's the Bible Belt there. It said keep Christ in Christmas, that kind of thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Wouldn't like it. Although Raquel tells me the other night that's not a blasphemous thing. It's just like a Greek thing. The Greeks, it means Christmas. Well, that's fine, and it shortens things, as you can see on this cover here.
Right.
I don't know. So I don't think it's blasphemous, but there are people that considered it blasphemous that you would take Christ out of Christmas, as they say, right?
Right.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not accusing DC Comics of that or Bob Haney or whatever. I'm just saying it's kind of funny. It's glaring. It's like Xmas, and there's your cover. Of 148, and then look what's coming up, folks. Superman the movie coming for Christmas. Just 2 days ago was the 44th anniversary of the greatest superhero movie of all time, Superman the movie. Dude, I started seeing this ad in comics when I was buying them back in 1978 and flipping the F out, baby. I've been waiting for years. We've been seeing stuff for years in the comics. And I'm like, Christmas, oh my God. I was one excited 14-year-old.
Well, so this is my top 5 favorite movies of all time. So I'm pretty excited.
It's pretty my one or two. I vacillate between 1 and 2 because I love The Empire Strikes Back, maybe my number 1, but it's right there with it. So
yeah, I've got Empire in my top 5 as well. So we got we're pretty close.
And so this movie's coming out this Christmas. I don't know if you heard about it, but it says Superman starring Christopher Reeve. I don't know who that is.
I have no idea, but he does take money from me every month when I donate to his charity.
Oh, okay, him, yeah. Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman are in it, though, right? So,
whoa,
Marlon Brando's in it. Wow. So. Here we go.
All right.
When a gunman murdered his parents, Bruce Wayne trained himself to wage war on all criminals. Now the Dark Knight detective joins forces with the sleuth of 1,000 shapes to become the Brave and the Bold. Batman R, and Plastic Man R. Sorry. Anyway, so here they start off. There was an observation. Usually, Bob Haney splash pages usually start out fairly spectacularly. This is a fairly routine one, though. They see Batman's shadow hanging over the truck. Yep. Christmas week, peace on earth, goodwill to all men. But on a highway just outside Gotham City, or maybe we should do it the voice of the TV show. Christmas week, peace on earth, goodwill to all men. But on a highway just outside of Gotham City, there is only violence and death. Never mind. Anyway, so right away, Commissioner Gordon says, blast. Another load of illegal cigarettes hijacked by rival mobsters and the driver killed. Wow, that's dark for Christmas comic.
Yeah,
kids. Yeah. Looks like the butt-legger war is heating up again, Sergeant. You heard that right, folks.
Yeah, the butt-legger.
Butt-legger war. Let me say again. The butt-legger war. And for those who don't know anything about cigarettes, get it? Butts, legger. I'm sure. The butt-legger. This guy wrote the butt-legger, and the editor said, sure, we'll go with that. His editor did not say, let me see, did Levitz edit this one? Let's see who edited this one. Paul Levitz, who I'm a big fan of, the greatest Legion writer of all, and wrote a lot of other good comics. Paul Levitz said, yeah, we'll call it the butt-legger war, Bob.
Yeah, I had to read it like so many times. I kept thinking, is it really, are they saying butt-legger? Wait, what are they trying to say? I didn't even get the cigarette joke. I'm like, what? I was like, why is he saying butt? I'm like, and then I started to question my sanity. Like, this is one thing that Bob, because I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how did so many people let this pass? And it's on the first page. It's not like 4 pages in they missed something. It's like, it's the first thing said. It's like,
it's the butt-legger. I can't get over it. It's not the only time they say it either, dude.
yeah, they say it a bunch of times, and it's like, okay.
So, wow, first of all, it's a Christmas story. You start out with cigarettes? Jesus Christ, man. That's another thing. So anyway, the night the mob stole Xmas. Writer Bob Haney. Now this Joe Staten and Jim Aparo are credited as the artists. If you look, I've looked at this very closely. I can see the pages where you can see certain Staten layouts, but I think Jim did most of the heavy lifting with a lot of inking and finishing up and stuff. And Paul Levitz inked it. This is it's dated March 1979, but this was a 1978 comic. Anyway, so not full work of Jim Aparo, but anyway, so Batman shows up. Batman, you got here ahead of us. That wasn't hard, Sergeant, you punks. Wow, really?
Yeah, he's hot. He's hot.
It's like Batman and if you notice how Batman and Gordon's relationship is sort of contentious.
Yeah, they despise each other here, and it's like, okay, Batman, why don't you do something about it? It's like, well, listen, Commissioner, the taxpayers' money. Why is Bruce care? Like, it's like, why is he talking about the taxes and stuff?
The taxes, it's millions of tax money. Batman's talking about cigarettes and taxes and shit. Like, this is a freaking Christmas story. Oh my God! And here he goes again. He says, "Hijackers left one carton behind. I guess they needed some smokes.
Right.
It should have been labeled: cigarettes may be harmful to the health of illegal rig drivers." Wow. He made a joke about the dead dude.
Yeah.
This is Batman. Is Batman saying that? Yeah, Batman saying, catch, Commissioner. The hijackers left one carton behind. It should be labeled: cigarettes may be harmful to the health of illegal rig drivers. Wow, Bats. Very funny, Bats. We're closing in on this butt-legged ring. I expect to break any day now. Better be soon. Wow. Why would you? Right away, this is so goofy. Why would this be your Christmas story? Why?
I don't know. It's so odd. And then, once we get into the Christmassy part, it's even weirder. Like, this is not the weirdest part. This is not the weirdest part.
No, you're right. Let's get on to some weirdness here. So, again, that's a weird Batmobile, too.
It is weird. And isn't there snow snow is getting into his bat car?
It is getting into it. Now, right there, it's bad, but that's a Staten layout. It's better on the next page. Look how it got longer all of a sudden.
Right. yeah.
Well, masked manhunter speeds back towards his beloved Gotham. Guess we're going to have a white Christmas. I'm glad you thought that, Batman.
Now hold on a second.
Yes.
On the page right before, Commissioner Gordon is like, well, if you're so hot over this thing, why don't you do something? And he's like, well, I got to go do my Xmas shopping. And you're like, what is this dialogue?
Around the tree.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Dialogue. Exactly. Again, Commissioner Gordon's an ass, and Batman's worse of an ass. Like, if you're so hot about this, Batman, why haven't you cracked the smuggling ring yourself? Like, and emphasize, well, you're the cop.
Right.
Gordon. I would, Commissioner, except I've got to. I'm glad you pointed it out. My Xmas shopping. See you around the tree. What are you, Spider-Man? All of a sudden?
Yeah. Like, why is he saying that? Like,
God, it's weird.
And then it's not clear. It's like, so if I'm the next panel should be Commissioner Gordon saying, so wait, Batman, are you actually gonna do something, or are you actually shopping? I don't know what you're doing. Like,
he explains it.
He does
says it's gonna be a white.
It.
He said he thinks explains it with exposition. I was just needling, Gordon, but this butt legging is bad, real bad. Is it really that bad though? Is butt legging really that bad up on your list? What if the Joker's free or something?
Right, and plus they're illegal cigarettes, so it's like it's one illegal gang taking from another illegal gang. So what?
Yeah, who cares?
Like, I don't get what he's
not that bad. Right. I mean, fight the Joker. We don't care about monsters.
Right.
And so the shopping the Batman does is of a very special kind. Okay, Benny, give you knows behind every racket in Gotham. Yeah, that's why he's standing right there.
Right.
Please, Batman. Even if I know, I'd be one dead stoolie if I told you. And still later, I've rousted every underworld tipster and pigeon, but not one will peep about the butt legging ring. I like how they put ring after it too. Like, butt legging ring. They're terrified. Well, I'd be terrified of butt legging myself.
now I love to overanalyze these comics. So it's like if Benny
I love it too.
is the number one stool pigeon and never gives information out, how is he the number one stool pigeon?
How is he? Exactly. He's not even good at that.
He's not even, it's like, dude, you had one job. And that was the snitch.
All you had to be was a stoolie.
And how does he know what, like, if Batman's like, well, tell me something. Well, if he knows all the rackets, are they trying to say that the only racket that's going on right now on Christmas is this racket? Because wouldn't he tell him about every other racket that's going on? Like, it's so weird. It's like, there's no thought put into it, which is great. I love that. It's just like so random. There's no thought.
Haney just says, I was telling you before the show, Haney just says, this is a trash medium. He didn't care about anything. And he got this panel, Merry Xmas again there. Christmas tree, but let's see. As Batman enters Gotham Plaza, one of the city's architectural splendors, the famous Lacey's, Lacey's. We get it. Store Xmas display. What would the holiday be without it? Beautiful. Except you called it Xmas again. They're Xmasing all over the place. By the way, I'm not offended. I just think it's funny.
Right. And like, are they saving on text? Like, are they saving on ink by not writing?
I don't know. I love this. I love the Santa, the Santa out there ringing the bell for money. And that just says the word give on his, his little giving pot thing, So anyway, Santa's there. He's all depressed. And this kid falls out into the street in front of a car. And who saves him but Santa Claus?
Yep.
And as the miraculous rescue is completed, Billy, I told you about running into the street. You, Santa, I know you are Plastic Man. Hi, Batman. Yeah. So our paths do an old crisscross once again. So then we have a nice Hostess Cupcakes ad.
Yeah.
From Wonder Woman with art by Win Mortimer. It looks like.
I do love Hostess Cupcakes though. So.
Well, yes, I love these ads. It's either Jose Delbo or Win Mortimer. Anyway, here we go. Could be maybe Mike Esposito. And then we have another cool ad for Season's Greetings from DC Comics. with Ross Andrew art. And then back to our story, folks. Check. Haven't seen you since we last tangled with Ruby Rider. That was also a Bob Haney story, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Which was really nuts. Everyone's unfavorite female tycoon. Boy, kids don't get good words from these comics. Usually, I used to learn words all the time from comics.
Yeah.
Dearest, hello there. Dave Rayburn, what's up, buddy? My cuz. So, I used to learn, valuable, important words from comics, but
yeah, I learned how to
favorite?
smoke better.
What is
I
this?
learned how to.
Did he look into the future on Facebook? I'm sorry. I don't know. Since
I love
then, it's
how,
all been downhill. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love how Plastic Man is like a skinny, weird Santa. Like, why is he Santa? Like, it's just like, what is this? He's down on his luck, and it's like
he's depressed about a chick. But being Plastic Man, he could actually expand his belly to make him look like a real Santa.
Yeah, like
he can make any shape, but he can't make his belly look like Santa.
Right, like it's like like he could be a better Santa. I guess that's the point of being like a depressed Santa. I don't know.
So he stopped being a superhero because he says, cheap carnivals, I quit because I hated being a freak. But I guess I'm doomed to play only phony roles like this. Why? You're Plastic Man. Jesus, with those powers? Yeah. Wish I could help, Plas, but you're a loser, you dumbass. But you have to decide who you want to be first. Meanwhile, it's just lucky you were here to save that kid. Here, try to have a Merry Xmas. Batman look, you're a millionaire, and you're tossing him in the water.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Good
too.
to see you, Batman.
Put $100 in there.
What a cheapskate, Bats. Poor Plas. He's really depressed. Being alone at Christmas is real tough. Well, you're Batman. You should know that. But I got to find a lead on that smuggling combo. We're going to get the word buttlegger soon again. Go ahead.
So no, here's some more overanalyzation. Batman, when he speaks, he's very efficient because he says Xmas, but then when he thinks to himself, he says Christmas. So his thinking is more powerful than his speech. Like he puts more into his thinking than he does into his speech.
Right. It's weird because once in a while they slip Christmas in there.
Right. Like
mostly it's Xmas. So here we go. We move on. Batman meets Gordon again. Oops, sorry. Batman catches up with Gordon. It could just disappear. The whole setup. Oh, somebody stole the Christmas display. Right. It's like the Macy's Christmas tree or the big New York Christmas tree that they do. This is their version, Gotham's version of that.
Right.
The big, it's really important, and it's all. There's no Christmas without that one stupid tree, like the
right. So this is the best page ever. The importance of this Lacey's display is like really overstated.
Way overstated. Here's this fact. That's the mayor or whatever says, I'm declaring a state of emergency. We must find the display commissioner. Let's see. Christmas. Oh, it's only 2 days to Christmas Eve. And we got Christmas there. See, not Xmas. It's Christmas. Don't worry, Mr. Mayor. I'll stake my badge at the police department. We'll get it back. Yeah, still, if anybody's murdered or anything, don't worry about it. We're going to be worried about a tree.
It's so weird. It's like, who cares?
It's the weirdest shit as a tree.
And honestly, could Bruce Wayne not just pay? So what I would do is Bruce Wayne should just be like, I'll just pay for them to rebuild the thing, and it'll be faster than us solving a case in 2 days. Like, it's like, you don't even need to work on this case.
Exactly. I like how Batman's, if you look at that shot of the Batmobile, they got an R on Robin's seat.
Yeah, well, because, Robin, just in case Robin doesn't know where to sit. It's like, shit, where do I sit again?
Oh,
it's like Robin, stop annoying me.
I like it. Wait, Plastic Man was on Santa duty last night. Maybe he saw something. He pot knocked over. Oh, his pot knocked over and no sign. Oh, his pot's been knocked over. So then as the Grim Guardian spots something, a message scrawled in the snow. Whoever stole Gotham's Christmas is heading south on Route 90, and so am I. By the way, I don't think that's Route 90 going to Florida, but anyway.
Batman is a great detective. He can read messages in the snow. That's how good he is.
Right.
It's like, and I love how go that way.
I love how he has the whirly bat in the trunk.
This is the absolute best thing ever. There's a vehicle in the vehicle. This is not a huge vehicle. Oh, I love it.
What happened to the regular Batcopter?
Yeah, like what? This is so weird. And then he just like pulls it out, and the top has been down this entire time. It's covered with snow now, by the way.
Yes,
like his Batmobile should be filled with snow.
It'd be covered in snow. And we get the remote thing and say, "Go home, Batmobile." So he's got that 6 minutes later. A unique flying machine flits. It flits along the main superhighway leading toward the sunny south. Okay, so he's in Gotham. Now, I don't know where Gotham City is really supposed to be. They're never that clear, but it's got to be. Sounds sort of like it's clear in New York State, right? I mean,
I would guess. Oh well, I'm in Canada, so I don't know the whole. But like I would say it's New York, right?
That's what I've always thought. Again, there's been people say that it's not quite there. There's actually a map of the DC universe. If somebody wants to mention it in the chat, I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, it's still a long ways because they're going to Florida, folks. Right. He's flying all over Florida now in his batsuit. Hat rack gang has to. So anyway, here we go. Unseen behind trails, paralleling the route, Batman dials the channels of the Whirly Bat CB. Breaker, 1-5, good buddy. Yeah, because this was the CB craze back then. So. Yeah. Candy cane to tailgate, Tommy. Don't fall behind now. We eastbound and down, load it up and track it. It's Smokey and the Bat Bandit. Yeah, don't fall behind, good buddy. You're hauling the Hat Rack gang. Can't have a jolly jingle without them. Roger Candy Cane. Hey, I'm Batman. I'm the Bat Hat Rack gang. Shit, I mean, it's like
lost sheep to Little Bo Peep.
Yeah, Bob's been watching the CB movies. Ford Jet, hello there. So Bob's watching the CB movie. All those, back. That was the CB craze. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Citizens Band radios and all the, we had them.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal, at least down here. I don't know, but up that way.
I didn't know. We didn't really have any, but I know, like, I mean, I've seen it in like movies and stuff all the time, right? And
you probably seen Smokey and the Bandit. Huh? Yeah.
I've seen Smokey and the Bandit. I watched Dukes of Hazzard like 100. Like
there you go.
I own all of it. Yeah,
it was a craze in the 70s. Man, it was huge. And anyway, shortly we're on an where an overpass arches above the super highway, whatever that is.
Yep.
Had to hitch onto the last truck. So Batman jumps onto the truck. Alfred could pick up the Whirly Bat and Batmobile later. Thanks for telling us that, Batman. Yep. Using the directional beeper signals. Good to know, Batman. We needed to know that. And then anyway, so he gets into the rig, and there's Plastic Man. I mean, look, what in blazes happened? I got taken, Batman, but good. Well, you are Plastic Man. You can't like defend yourself and stuff.
Like Plastic Man could have foreseeably stopped this entire thing from happening. It's just so weird.
Easily. Like, he's nothing. For
he's
some
nothing.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deer said that basically he's heard that or Deer has heard Gotham City is kind of it's New York, even though they do have a DC has a New York as well. Like Metropolis is somewhere near to Ohio or something. Not just, even though there's a Metropolis in Illinois, but that's different. That's in real life. Anyway, but it's way up there. How about that? It's way up there. And so somebody hit Plastic Man on the head and it knocked him out. Let me get that straight again, folks. You could now, because Bob Haney needs it to be the case, hit him on the head and it could knock him out. This is Plastic Man who could turn into, he's virtually indestructible.
Right.
You can't knock out Plastic Man by hitting him in the head.
Like I would have thought gas or something, maybe like if they use some sort of gas, but like why would they have that gas?
No,
so it's
exactly. And so they need a Christmas. They need a Kris Kringle, they say. So they need a Santa Claus. So anyway, before he blacked out completely, he was able to overhear their route and then that's convenient with his little stretchy hand way over to the. Wait a minute. Wait. You were blacked out. How did you write that? Before I blacked out. You can write that. How are you blacking out?
Right. How could it be half awake? And if you're half awake and you could stretch, like
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You can't hurt Plastic Man by hitting him in the head.
Yeah, right. So Plastic Man could get punched 1,000 times by supervillains and not get hurt, but a thunk on the head by one of those little things takes him out. But it doesn't take him out enough to knock him out. It knocks him out a little bit, but he could still stretch and write coherent messages in snow. And then it's like, this is so nonsense.
I love it, man. It's so funny.
Gosh, I don't even know what to say.
We interrupt this program to bring you a BB gun ad. I love those. We used to get these. I love me some BB guns. Crossman air guns. Had some. Had it. And then if you want some Slim Jims, if you're hungry, some Slim Jims, we got those. And we've got some other ads. But back to our story. Good blazes. Those trucks must be part of the butt-legging ring. Here we go. Good blazes, whatever that means. Those trucks Must be part of the butt legging ring. What a crazy coincidence. Not really that much of a coincidence, but sure.
Well, since that's the only
why are they
thing
connected
going
to the
on.
butt leggers? Yeah, because wait a minute now. It started out with the butt leggers, right? With the cigarettes.
Yeah.
But then it's about them stealing the Christmas tree thing. So I'm like, why did this have anything to do with the cigarettes?
Yeah, like
Which
that's
is
like
it? Is it
what? Yeah,
cigarettes
like
or
what is it?
I don't understand. It's like Bob forgot.
I
This was
think he
about
did forget.
buttleggers who killed a dude, and now they steal the Christmas tree with all these, and that's a lot of trucks, by the way.
Yeah, he probably like. I think Bob Haney had an idea for this butt legging thing, and then he realized that wait, this is a Christmas issue, so maybe I better put some Christmas stuff in it. And he's like, well, I already wrote the butt legging. I'm like, screw it, I'll just pretend it's all one thing, and you know we'll deal with it later.
Well, and shame on you, Paul, for letting I take it back. Paul, thank you for letting him do this. This is beyond hilarious. The convoy groans to a halt. Gotta feed them deer. I guess there's supposed to be deer in there. Good old Prancer was mad about losing his nicotine snack. I don't know what that even means, Batman. But now Batman punches the guy. I don't know what that means.
So was there real animals in the display? Like, and they stole the animals? Like, I could not understand what was going on.
I don't think so. There. You know why you can't? Because they didn't say.
Yeah, so weird.
They don't show it. Pretty sure, because I looked back at it. Now I have to take care of this creep, says Batman. The Batman, waste him. And so he's actually fighting like Batman for a change.
Yeah.
Which is good. And that's Jim Aparo art. The whole page is Aparo.
It looks good.
Right. That's the whole page is Aparo. Then these panels are laid out by Staten with Aparo inks. Here we go. Now we get Wimp Batman again because he loves Wimp Batman. He's standing he's standing right there where he can be shot. Just shoot me now, please. I'm not going to move or anything. Then finally he jumps down. They miss him because they're stupid. Then they get him. Boom. And that's a Joe Staten panel. A bunch of panels right there. I know my Staten when I see him. Inked by Aparo. Time you got your oil changed, Cape Crusader. Batman got knocked into the Earl. Yeah, that'll take the rust out of your lungs. What does that mean?
Like, I don't even, this is nonsense.
It's all nonsense. But we got sea monkeys.
Woohoo.
Oh, look at that. Oh, some Treasury editions. Well, a limited tabloid edition, Superman famous first edition one. And I have both of these, of course. Let's see. Oh, man. Toys. We have Migos. We have Toy Kryptonite. By the way, that Kryptonite, I got that. They sold that at movie theaters when the movie was playing. I bought it. I still have it somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's see. A little Kryptonite rock. A little glowing Kryptonite glow. Well, it used to glow. And look at those books there. Batman from the 30s to the 40s. Batman from the 30s to the 70s. Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Wonder Woman. Oh, man.
Those are great.
And then back to some Joe Staten layouts. Batman is in oil, and Plastic Man has to pull him out.
Yep.
And shower and hose him down for some reason. Now, Joe Staten did draw the Plastic Man title for years before this got canceled, so maybe that's part of the reason why he was doing this book. I don't know.
Well, I mean, so Plastic Man can do all this cool stuff, and you're like, well, why couldn't you do anything useful 5 pages ago?
I don't know. Hey, Sean, what's up, dude? Hello, Mark D with a C.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, I don't understand. And again, that's the hallmark of Bob Haney. Consistency, no consistency.
Right.
Like I said, he could get conked on the head and be knocked out, but on the other hand, he could do all this crazy stuff. I heard the driver on the CB yakking with the lead truck via little plastic stethoscoping. Candy cane to Santa's helpers. Keep high balling along. We got mucho miles to cover. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Hanging down this what's old bandit run. Plastic Man, you did it again. Let's start highballing ourselves for the Sunshine State.
Yeah, really, Plastic Man did nothing. If I was Batman, I'd be like, Plastic, you've done it again. Nothing. You've done nothing because you're just standing around. Like once you're a what?
Face.
Yeah,
look at Batman.
It's George Clooney.
Yeah. Smile, head bob, smile. So, yeah, we're going to Florida 24 hours later because it is a long ride to Florida. I'm just saying. And that will play in later.
Yeah. And this also, now you got to remember, it was 2 days to Christmas. So are we in Christmas Eve now, or?
It was 2 days of Christmas, so I think we're a Christmas Eve thingy.
Yep. So okay, time's running out, and if
we're
that
just-
Lacey's parade isn't there tomorrow, then Gotham
Christmas
City
ruined.
is doomed, is ruined,
Doomed.
and Commissioner Gordon has to resign.
Christmas, yes, Christmas Gordon is done, and it's nothing. I don't know what it has to do to butt legging. I don't know, but he's butt legged. So here we at this Florida, this palatial site. It says, at a palm-studded coral islet.
Yeah, I
Islet?
don't.
Off
I
the
don't-
Florida coast. I don't know what the islet is, but maybe I should look it up.
A,
No, don't look it
a
up.
small island or something, or
It must be.
a baby island.
Beneath the emerald waters, Plastic Man's still wearing a Santa Claus. I don't know why he's still wearing a Santa Claus outfit.
Because reasons.
Reasons. Batman's got his. I wonder how long they've been swimming underwater. They don't say.
I don't know.
Anyway, so they basically I guess they got in a truck and drove. They just and maybe they sang songs all the way down. I don't get it, but
Right.
so they spent 24 hours on the road. Batman and Plastic Man. We'll never know how many strip bars they stopped off at or whatever.
Right.
The Cafe Risque. I happen to know they have a few on route to Florida. Just saying. Anyway, what a switch! Big Jake Doyle. He's dying, so he calls us, his competitors in the butt legging racket, for his last Christmas party. What, Bob? So Bob, this is about a butt legging, like a racketeer guy, inviting his enemies on his death because he's dying to his last Christmas party. Whatever, man. Jesus Christ. What? I don't
Yeah, that's the storyline here is like, okay, so the butt legger guy steals the Lacey's parade and drives
Right.
it to Florida in order to put on a Christmas party that'll please his criminal associates, because they're not going to show up unless there's great Christmas trees there.
I guess.
And he's dying. But wait a second, guys, don't get ahead of yourselves. There is a twist coming.
Oh yeah. We had Gotham's great Xmas display hijacked so he could throw his final holiday bash in style. Check. We make peace and all share in the ciggy smuggling business instead of fighting. Well, Batman, there's the solution to your whole mystery. What mystery?
Yeah,
Of Gotham stolen Christmas. Big Jake's big man, yeah. A right mug after all, whatever that means.
All right.
Amazing, except something still does not seem quite right, Plastic Man. Let's check out the mansion, Plas.
Yeah, Plastic Man. We still have a few pages left. Something doesn't make sense.
Maybe something else won't make sense. And we have some cool ads for stuff.
Yeah.
Because why not? Look at the poster
Ooh.
ads for Cheryl Ladd, man, and Farrah Fawcett.
Wow.
And, more Farrah Fawcett and Miss Kiss and Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Boom.
Sign them. I'll take them all.
So anyway, this guy we don't know anything about because they never say anything about him until that last panel is in bed. I guess he's Big Jake something or other. Oh, did they really wait? Oh my God! Wait a minute. Let me go back for a second. Did they tell him what I think they called him? Big Jake.
Yeah, they call him Big Jake. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's his name, Big Jake. Does he look like John Wayne?
Oh,
I
mean,
I don't know. Anyway, he's Big Jake is the bad guy, or is this mafia? This smuggler, whatever the hell. I tell you, Wolfie, I'm sick of playing sick. You can stop soon. You can stop soon, boss. They didn't say boss.
Yeah.
You can stop soon, Big Jake. Just about to creep right to muscle in on your butt smuggling. Butt smuggling. Now it's not even butt leggers. It's butt smuggling, folks. Bob Haney. Here we go again. I'm sorry, I can't let it go. Bob Haney. This is a Joe Staten panel, big time. Bob Haney wrote the word butt leggers and got away with it a bunch of times because Paul Levitz, I guess, didn't care. He was very young. And then Paul let him put in a comic book for kids, butt smuggling. I know it was 1978, but And I'm not trying to be lewd. I'm just saying stupid. It just sounds stupid. It's not. I mean, as a kid, I would snicker at it. I probably did.
Right. Oh, at least it didn't say we gotta put a plug in this bus.
Almost. Butt smuggling are here, ready for the Christmas present. Presents a gut full of slugs. What if he got slug up in there closer?
Slugs. So hold on a second. Why is this guy Okay, he's pretending to be sick, but why is he actually in bed? Are the other gangsters in his bedroom to see if he's really sick or not? I don't get it. It's like, just put, hey, Jimmy, put the word out that Big Jake is sick and on his deathbed. That's all. And then when they
why would they show up anyway?
And why would they care? Like,
why is he inviting his enemies?
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's like, why, just to see the Lacey's thing? Like, I don't get it. It's just so weird. Nothing makes sense.
Why didn't he just get his own goddamn? I mean, look, he's rich, I guess. That island. What does he need the Lacey's Christmas tree for just to be the Grinch?
No, but why does he need anything? He could just say a big Christmas party. When they all show up, he'll kill them. Like, why does he even need any decorations? Like, he's
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's like if I said, hey, everyone come to my house and I'm planning on killing you, what's the difference what decorations I have? I'll just say anything.
I don't get it.
You could say, it's like, yeah, I've got Farrah Fawcett at my house. Come over. And then they come over. Hey, where's Farrah Fawcett? Who cares? You're dead. Like, what is the deal? I don't have to kidnap Farrah Fawcett to put her there to trick them into coming. Like, it's just like nothing makes sense at all. None love
of it makes sense. Hey, Pat S.
Hey, Pat.
I mean, because I always think, am I overselling how crazy Bob Haney is? I don't think I am. I'm sorry.
I love this because, like, if you really analyze it, it's not even like something makes sense. No part of any of it makes sense. It's like,
you can read stupid stories that still have some sort of internal logic to them.
Right. There's no logic.
Kids never do.
Yeah. No, none of it. No.
That's what I'm saying. They're so outrageously bad. They're freaking hilarious.
And he's pretending to be sick while smoking a cigar. So that's
he's smoking a cigar on his deathbed.
Oh God.
These criminals catch I guess his enemies are real stupid. I guess it's a trap. Yes, it's a trap, obviously. So they catch him in Plastic Man, and here we are before the mossy mansion of Big Jake Doyle. A bizarre Yuletide begins. So wait a minute, they're caught now. Batman and Plastic Man got caught instead of they didn't even try to fight their way out of it. They just got caught.
Right.
I know, killed Pro. Okay, so we got a tailor, but I might not last that long.
Yeah, like, see, why is he acting here?
Shindig, the dumbass, one of these guys says, and that creek. I don't know. He said that and Batman as a tree decoration. Great.
One other thing that we glossed over: Plastic Man has been pretending to not be Plastic Man. He's been undercover, pretending to just be Santa.
Now he's Santa Claus now.
Yeah, so like the goons. Hey, the bad guys don't know. Yeah,
that's right. Yes. He's a little subterfuge there. Very smart on Plastic Man's part. So they're all happy at the Christmas party a day early, and now, pals, here's a surprise gift for my new partners in the butt wagon dodge.
Right.
Yank it, Kris Kringle. No, I'm not that way. No, I didn't mean that. You dirty little man. Like you say, Big Shot. Happy holidays, suckers. Ha 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 ha. And then he kills them. What did you think he was going to do? But here's one of my favorite parts. Before he's able to shoot him, there's Plastic Man jumps in front of all the bullets.
Right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Plastic Man can repel bullets, but you can knock him out with the butt of a gun.
Right. Well, that was 10 pages ago.
Jolly Santa and soak up these slugs. What's that?
Yeah, so 10 pages ago, 10 pages ago, you could knock him out with like a gun or whatever, but now you can't shoot him.
Yeah, Picasso is one specific writer that's on the whatever he was on. It's Bob Haney. That's what this whole show is about. It's about the wacky world of Bob Haney. The guy who wrote this has written many other. We've already covered one of the most wacky comics he's ever done. This one's almost close to it. So yeah, I cannot. This is one thing that's always been a thing with me, even as a kid, as comics, is inconsistent use of superpowers.
Yeah.
In other words, if a guy can repel bullets from his body like Plastic Man, which is fair enough, sure, then he can't be knocked out with a damn butt on the head.
Yeah, that
I'm
really
sorry if
irks
that's
me.
unreasonable.
No, it irks me in movies. It irks me in comics. It's like you got to think if you're scared about Plastic Man because he's too overpowered, then don't use Plastic Man.
Don't use him. Don't use him.
Right? Put someone else. Like I don't know if Elongated Man could take a gunshot. Maybe not because he's more rubbery, right? Like he's like so. Use him. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I get. By the way, Billy Go Boom. If you at the beginning, we talked about this. The butt legging means cigarette smuggling.
Right.
Cigarettes, because back then, cigarette butts. The guy actually called it butt legging. Again, I don't know if Bob Haney got that from anywhere else. He may have. I don't know. I didn't do the research because I didn't care. I just think it's funny to put it in the damn comic book in 1978. So, Plastic Man's now showing his powers. He could have. By the way, why did Batman get caught? Plastic Man just started kicking their asses before that.
Right. Yeah, that's the other thing. So it's like they just, let's pretend to get caught. For what reason? You already know what he's planning on doing. So just stop him. And what's the difference? There's like a million bad guys here. Just stop. You can put a plug in the butt legging gang right now by stopping it all.
I have another question, dude. How about back earlier when they caught the trucks? Why didn't they turn the trucks around and bring the stuff back then? They had the stuff. Presumably they had everything. Why did they let the guy bring it to Florida?
I don't know, because like Gotham, like Christmas is ruined. Commissioner Gordon will have to resign if you don't like, And by the way, Commissioner Gordon was so gung ho that he does nothing in this comic. It's like I'll stake my badge. Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Nothing. Let Batman do it.
I'll just let Batman do it.
I'm not doing it. You do it. Yeah, you do it. No, you do it. No, you do it. No. Oh, so stupid. So anyway, Big Jake, he was faking it. Yeah, no shite, Sherlock. So here we go. Here we got a gunshot. We were suckered. Big Jake ain't sick and dying. You dummies! What'd you think? Why would you go to his stupid deathbed anyway? Why when you get the news that he's dying, wouldn't you go, good, die?
Right.
He's your enemy.
Yeah, like why would you go there? Well, they went there because he had the Lacey's. Because he promised them the Lacey's display, and they really wanted to because they love Christmas. These buttleggers are all about Christmas and giving and the spirit and the joy and that's all they care about.
Christmas spirit. Stupid. They have the Christmas spirit, these buttleggers. And so anyway, sorry, my alarm thing goes on even when I turn the sound off. While above having freed himself in the confusion, Batman frees himself because Plastic Man didn't help him.
Right. Thank you.
A party still singing. Party still swinging. Doyle, you don't want to be a Scrooge.
Okay, Spider-Man.
Yeah. So the battle royal between the rival mobsters turns Conch Key into an island of sudden death.
Awesome.
Again, they got it. Well, they're killing each other. So why Plastic Man bother saving them anyway? Then.
Yeah, he saved a few of them, but all right.
Suddenly, snow. I don't believe the snow in Florida.
What?
Yes. What? So it turns out plastic snowflakes. I get it. Must have been part of Big Jake's party plan a white Xmas.
Why? You're going to kill them all. What does it matter? It's right. So he hired a helicopter to fly with fake snow. So just so they could die in fake snow. Like, I don't what would be the point?
I have no idea. I guess he just likes, he's got the Christmas spirit. Right. I'm sorry. He's got the Xmas spirit. It's a white Xmas. Yes. Now the fabulous freak spews a stream of artificial snow at the other gangster. So,
does that hurt? Like,
yeah, I guess.
Well, it's paper. So.
Yes, it's just paper. Wow, that's a lot of snow. A lot of fake
that's
snow,
a lot.
By the way.
Yeah, right. How did all that fit in a helicopter? Like, there's more snow than there is in a helicopter than the size of a helicopter. So even if the entire helicopter was filled with it, it wouldn't produce that much.
Nicely done, Plas. We found the hijack display and broken the butt-legging ring. But it's only 24 hours to Xmas Eve. Gotham's holiday is ruined. Maybe not Batman. The hijacked trucks are here, and so's plenty of Santa's helpers. So I'm sure you can get there in 24 hours, but you better hurry.
Right.
And they're going to drive all the way back. Hey, some cool comics ads, by the way. Jonah Hex and Scalp Hunter. Cool.
That's cool.
Some Joe Staten panels. So they're making the mobsters instead of putting them in jail. Look at this. Look at Santa Plastic Man holding a gun on him. Look at Batman Goofy smiling in the background.
I love that, like they're at gunpoint. This is the best. Yeah, they're at gunpoint here, being forced to do this, and it's like, look at the anguish on that guy's face there. He's like, "Oh, I've got to put this candy cane up." Firstly, here's something that I did notice, just because I'm a stickler. That candy cane was not stolen. That candy cane was actually left. If you go back to the first, you don't have to, but if you go to the first page, that was still there. So he doesn't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually left there. So it's like, unless there's another one, but anyways.
They don't deserve it, though.
Yeah.
Through the long night and into the next day, a convoy highballs north. And there we go. Hey, but look, we got the word Christmas. Christmas Eve, the most magical night of the year, and in Gotham City, USA, there is at last the moment, peace on earth, goodwill to all. Merry Xmas! Wait a minute, it's Xmas again.
Right.
Batman, it's a miracle. You cracked the butt legging. Oh, you cracked the butt legging ring. Are you telling me
I love it.
that they weren't having a laugh in the DC Comics editorial? Are you telling me they weren't laughing at that? Cracked the butt legging ring.
Oh my God.
They were laughing. I'm sorry. All right, Paul. We know you. We know what you were up to. And save the city's holiday, because that one tree, man, like everybody's tree would. So Christmas would suck. They just didn't have that one stupid tree downtown at Lacey's. My whole Christmas revolves around a tree at the department store. Why?
If I went to every family and said, "Hey kids, what would you rather have, the Lacey's display or presents tomorrow?" "Oh, Lacey's display." It's like, you'd be like, "Screw that, I want my presents." It's like, nobody cares about this display. And also, it's been missing for 48 hours at this point. Does it really matter if it's there Christmas? Like, it wasn't there before. You're like, well, now it's there. And why are people on Christmas morning or whatever? I guess it's Christmas Eve, so they got it in time. But like, does it really matter at this point? Like, who cares? Like, it was already missing.
Oh yeah. By the way, Plastic Man's arm is spelling Merry Xmas, by the way.
That's great.
Butt legging tree. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. You might say it's really just a gift from Santa Claus. Fantastic. But Batman's Christmas chores aren't over yet. Check out the current issue of his own magazine for details, because they had a Christmas one in that one. And join us next issue as the Dark Knight detective teams up with the Teen Titans. Anyway, so basically, how about the mob sold Xmas. What mob? They were whatever, but would it have been at least? They're saying that all of Christmas was in jeopardy. Bob, wouldn't Christmas been more in jeopardy? Like if everybody's Christmas displays were been stolen by some magical villain or some shit, like Mitch's, like Batmite comes along,
right?
Or, I don't know. The Joker finds some way to get rid of everybody's Christmas shit. I don't know. Something equally goofy, but like makes even some kind of silly comic book sense, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like the Joker's going to blow up the city on Christmas Eve. It could just be like they've got some sort of like a magical character, makes all the presents disappear or something, or I don't know, like some kind of thing where it's like, who cares what the Lacey's display? Like that doesn't matter. Like, can't they put another one up? If doesn't Lacey's have insurance or something? And can't they just like, it's like someone stole our display. Okay, well, put up another one. Like and Batman, Bruce Wayne could have paid for another one, and then he could have found the buttleggers on his own time after the
buttleggers.
And it's like,
you just like saying buttleggers, don't we?
I do. I could not get over it the entire. I was like, why does this say buttlegger? I don't get it.
Why would he allow it? Why would not the editor? And Paul was young at the time. Look, everyone, I have every respect for Paul Levitz and Jim Aparo. I love. And Paul Levitz is my favorite Legion writer. He's the Legion writer. He's the greatest. And but wow. And he was once president of DC Comics for a long time. But he was a young budding editor at the time who was writing some other stuff. He wrote some other stuff too, by the way. He's a good writer. But he probably just said butt legging, Bob. Okay, whatever, man. Well, Yeah, you can do this story. I mean, I'm not going to tell Bob Haney that he can't write this story. I guess. Oh, shite. But anyway, how about some bonus footage here? We've got the letters page, the brave and the bold. I'm one because I'm a sicko for writers and artists of old comics.
Yeah.
I like scouring old letters pages to find if there are any letters written by people who went on to work in comics, and there frequently are.
Cool.
Oh, I find them all the time. Not in this one though. But I used to love these old DC comics of this era, the Daily Planet, the Bat part. I would go after I read. Sometimes before I read the comic, I go look and see the Daily Planet. Detective Comics celebrates 40 years of the Batman. Anniversary issue recaps origin of Dark Knight Detective. DC, New York, Detective Comics. 483 marks a very special event in the annals of comics history, the 40th anniversary of the Batman. And to mark this momentous occasion, DC proudly presents a very special issue of Detective Comics starring the Batman family. We commissioned star DC artist Jose Luis Garcia Lopez to create the front cover and a super talent, Dick Giordano to pencil and ink the back cover pinup of the entire Batman family. And then, so I used to love this, man. You can read all the news that's coming out from the DC Comics, man. It's so cool. Direct Currents on sale this week. Let's see what's on sale this week that month, folks. Direct Currents on sale week of January 8th. DC Comics presents number 8, Superman and Swamp Thing. You have that. Joy.
Oh yes, I do have that.
You have that issue.
I have that issue. Yes, I do.
The 6 Deaths of Solomon Grundy by Steve Englehart and Murphy Anderson. Great.
Oh,
GI Combat number 213 with the Haunted Tank. That's cool. Men of War number 15, Gravedigger. On sale right now. Action Comics $4.93, Brave and the Bold 148, which is, oh boy, do we know that. Green Lantern 114, House of Mystery 266, Superboy Legion 249, Super Friends number 18, and so on. But here's what I also used to love. This is the fun. I could not wait. Bob Rozakis. I don't know if you're familiar with the Answer Man.
No.
This is a regular feature in the back called the Ask the Answer Man. And Bob Rozakis, who is the Answer Man, who was a DC editor, I had him on my show way back in the early, 2010 or 11 or something. He's famous, and you could ask him anything. So I would always go back. I always read this. Let's see what the questions are this month.
Oh, this
question: Will Supergirl ever rejoin Joseph Smith? Answer: You never can tell. He kind of sucked at it. And he seems to like the Maid of Might. This is before Levitz took over. Question: Where can I write to Joanna Isis Cameron? Never heard. Whoa. Sorry, folks. Damn it. I'm so sorry. Stupid. All right. You remember her? Isis?
Oh, I've got the TV
Joanna
series.
Cameron, who played Isis on the TV show?
Yeah, she was awesome.
Oh, there you go. This guy wants to know where he can write her a letter. Whoa.
Ooh.
Write to her in care of the TV station in your town, which carries the show. That's smart of you, Bob. Switch to blame someone else. Here's one. Q. What Earth is Plastic Man on? Kevin Fry. A. Earth 1, Earth X, and Earth B. Earth B!
Oh,
Earth B! Even then they knew it. Oh, my God.
That's great.
Bob Rozakis knew Earth B, buddy.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, shit. I love that. How about a Robin Speedy team-up? Amy Dunbar. Send the idea long to Paul Levitz, the new editor of Detective, and maybe he'll set one up. Meantime, the pair joined Kid Flash and Wonder Girl for a Batman Teen Titans team up, Brave and Bold 149. The next issue.
Next issue.
The next issue, yeah. See, again, that's why I love this column. Question: What happened to Jimmy Olsen's own magazine, Douglas Bateman, by Batman or whatever? Answer: It was incorporated with Lois Lane and Supergirl to create Superman Family. True.
Right.
Question: Do you have a staff to help you answer all the questions? Terry, whatever. So I'll skip the name. And answer: No, I do it all by my lonesome. I believed him.
Yeah.
Then I did. What's it? Question: What do you have planned for Action Comics 500? Well, that was a good issue, by the way. A very special surprise. Well, yeah, that Bob, way to kick the can down the road there, bro. Question: Why is the parasite purple? Gary Jenkins.
Oh.
Answer: Why not?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Question: He wasn't purple on the cartoon. It was weird. Is Wonder Woman stronger than Supergirl?
Oh, that's good.
Answer: no. I'd have to bet on Supergirl in a fight.
Oh.
Question: why can't Kid Flash join the Legion? Answer: it must be these really young kids. Answer: he's never been asked. Oh, that's not why. He doesn't live in the 30th century. Bogong. You can do better than that. Question: why are Teen Titans number 7, Justice League number 86, and Forever People number 7? Well, what are they worth? He says 50 cents, 35 cents, and 65 cents, respectively. Wow.
Not anymore, but
not anymore. So there's a little bonus segment. Let's see what else we got. So we got the back cover. Yay!
Yeah, I remember the.
Oh,
look at all these cool.
Oh my goodness, monogram Corvette model.
Whoa!
There's your back cover, folks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Wow. So there you have it, folks. A review of in another foray into the wacky world of Bob Haney. Dude, was that something?
It was awesome. I'm definitely getting it. Sean and I are going on the 27th, just after Boxing Day, where there's a comic show that's free.
Nice.
They do it every year after Boxing Day, and it's free entrance. So
nice.
Yeah, and it's our favorite show that we go to. We'll get some footage there, and I'm definitely getting more Legion stuff. I've got my list, and I have to get some Brave and the Bolds now that we've been doing it. That's like I have to get the ones that we reviewed for sure, because they're just crazy. I definitely want the one where Batman dies and then the Atom uses his muscles and stuff to control him.
We're gonna do that soon. You want to review that one soon?
Yeah, I have to get that. My buddy at work, he's probably around your age. As a kid, he loved that one, and he gave away all his comics and stuff. And he's like, I had this one comic, and he told me about it. I said, I don't know what this comic is. And this is before we even talked about this. And I went and checked on the internet. He just said the Atom took over Batman's body, and that's what I typed in, and I found it.
Yes, that's right.
And I'm gonna try to get it for him. I tried to get it for him for this Christmas as a surprise gift.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I couldn't do it because the show, I couldn't go to the show. So I was like, I'll go to this one and see if I can get it for him. But I have to get a copy for myself. So I got to try to get 2 copies of that. Of course. But
love it. Yeah. That we're going to review that one soon. By the way, hello, JT Kirk. Good to see you, buddy. Zany Haney indeed, Mark D. He was zany, was he not? I mean, are you guys all now convinced of how wacky Bob Haney was? I mean, the guy. And again, I've been reading up on him a little bit more than I used to, but I love how Bob even put Earth B in that answer. Earth
great.
B, folks. I want to live on Earth B. We're going to do Earth B stories. So we're going to do another one really soon if you're up for it. I'll definitely put one out there. And let me tell you something. It doesn't have to just be Brave and Bold. He wrote, I mean, he's the one that created the Super Sons of Superman and Batman.
Yes, I was reading up about him after our last, or when we did our last stream. Pretty interesting, yeah.
I mean, I remember when I first saw those as a kid. I mean, as a kid, I just said they have sons that look like that. I mean, even and I was pretty young when I first saw the Super Sons. I'm like, that doesn't really make any sense. But I read them. I mean, it was in World's Finest,
Right.
And by the way, his comics always sold. The people just liked them because they were ridiculous. Like, I don't know. And the kids just because they had goofy ideas, but they appealed to kids. And for some reason, it appealed to us sickos who thought it was kind of cool that they had sons. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense, no. But so he's the one. I mean, later it was readapted and changed around. But when he was asked, but some of the editors said, "Well, this is going to be like an imaginary story, right?" Editors, of the other Batman and Superman books,
right?
Like Julie Schwartz and other ones. He said, "No." He said, "They just wait a minute. You're just going to write this story to where they just have kids." Teenage kids that look just like that. They're in their like late teens and they wear the costumes and all. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just basically kid versions. It's basically a kid Batman and a kid it's like they looked exactly. It's like Superboy.
Sons.
It's like just Superboy. It's just like okay.
And they said, "Well, how did that happen?" I don't know. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And Bob Haney's approach. I was telling you this earlier. He didn't care. He just did not. There's some. I mean, I'm going to save them for reviews, but there's some wacky stories where he would just have everything out of place, out of time. Batman never acts like Batman. He's just a dude in a Batman costume who's really kind of wimpy sometimes and really weird sometimes. I read one that we might review. I read. Oh, I think it may have been Brave and Bold 100. I can't remember. It was one that had I don't know if I told you about this one or not. It was about Batman gets shot.
Okay.
And he has to have an operation, and he has to have this doctor fly in who won't be in for like 5 days. But if he doesn't, if he has to wait at home and not do anything for 5 days for this surgeon to get over there. In the meantime, Batman's so obsessed with this stupid drug dealer, this H dealer, that he's decided it's more important to him to stop him, even though it's going to kill him. But Robin comes along, and he's got Robin, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Black Canary decide to, he lets them be their legs while he sits in a wheelchair and pulls all the strings and stuff.
Okay, I'm looking at the cover right now. My God, that's awesome.
That story is nuts. And I mean, it is absolutely so stupid. It's so freaking crazy. It's I mean, what? Oh God, it's funny though. It's funny as hell. We got it. Maybe we want to do that one next. I don't know. That was pretty funny. It's weird, man.
And can't like Green? Okay, you got Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Robin, and Black. Can't they handle it on their own? Like, why does Batman need to tell? Like, why does Batman need to tell them what to do?
In this story, they're nincompoops, and because everybody's in it. It's like that's what I'm saying. There are times he just doesn't understand. I think Bob probably really didn't know anything about Green Lantern.
Okay.
I don't think he knew anything. I mean, oh, by the way, on one of the first bits of the story, though, he has Oliver Queen kill a dude.
Oh my gosh!
This is not way before Longbow Hunters. This is an old early 70s Brave and Bold issue where he has Green Arrow shoot boom, arrow a dude right in the face or whatever.
Wow!
Look, shoots him dead with an arrow.
That's crazy. Well, in Earth B, it can happen.
Yeah, but back then he used trick arrows and all this crap. Nope.
Right.
Arrow, because he didn't understand. He didn't know what a trick arrow was. He probably said, well, I mean, yeah, he could just kill this dude, right? Well, why not? He's got an arrow. What are arrows for? But to kill people, right? Oh, sure, Bob.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the issue right now. It's bonkers.
Look, you see the page where he shoots the dude dead? Oh my God, there's another scene. I hate to spoil it because I can't wait to review it, but where Black Canary screws up her part of the mission because her hair gets messed up by the rain, and she's at a Robin catches her getting her hair dried.
I've got that. Yeah, I'm looking at that now.
In spite of the fact that she wears a wig, stupid, Bob Haney didn't know that she's not really a blonde.
Right, she could just take off the wig, and continue on.
She could just take off the wig, and but she's so. I mean, it was so. And she calls him a sexist. I'm like, well, he wrote it. She calls Robin a sexist. Call the writer a sexist. It was. Oh man, and Batman's obsessed with this spider that he sees crawling around. By the way, I guess he's at Wayne's apartment that he used his Wayne that he for a while there in the 70s when he was away from Wayne Manor when he had this big penthouse apartment.
Oh yeah.
But he's sitting there as Batman.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I'm like, yeah, see that? I'm like, why is he dressed as Batman at Bruce Wayne's apartment?
Yeah, wouldn't that give away the identity? Wait a minute, what are you doing here? Remember in the Batman cereal? In the cereal, he drove Bruce Wayne's car, and then he'd be like, "Oh, Bruce Wayne lends me his vehicles." It's like, what? Like, why?
I forgot. I didn't want to make a Batmobile.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Bruce Wayne just gave me his car. It's like, okay, sure.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Well, dude, I'll tell you what, man. I guess this was fun, man. I really appreciate it.
I love these.
Yeah. We will come up with one. Now we can review other stuff too, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
We'll see, we can see other people, by the way. We can review other stuff, but I want to make it a regular presentation. If you're game,
for sure,
at least once a month, maybe enter the wacky world of Bob Haney.
Yes, and I don't think anyone will overanalyze it as much as me. So I think I'm a good.
Good. You're perfect for it.
I'm very comfortable in Bob Haney's brain. So
yeah, I guess I should point out something. Although people who, because there's some people that take Bob Haney seriously to the point they don't really appreciate it. I've seen some writers where people make fun of it because they say it's ingenious. Let me tell you something. These stories cry out to be made fun of now from a 21st century, 50 years later lens. But
Right.
at the time, look, comics were aimed at kids, and they still should. I mean, they always should be. For those who don't know, I've been reading up. I've been studying up on a lot of Bob Haney. The new book, The Team Up Companion by TwoMorrows. I highly recommend that. By the way, where Michael Urey has a great article about him. But basically, Bob Haney himself, folks, considered comics to be kids' junk. That's what he called it. That's his words, kids' junk.
Right.
Now he said, hey, adults have their junk, kids have their junk. He did not respect the medium that he had made a living off of. And the guy did a lot of crazy stuff. He used to build houses and go to all these other countries. He did a lot of skiing and doing all kind of outdoors, rugged outdoors stuff. He grew up in the Depression. See, writers of comics back then, and he was a writer, which is rare. At that point, when he came into the business, most artists, also did writing. He's one of those rare guys that didn't do any art. He just did writing. And he just thought he was writing kids crap because it made him money. He kind of fell into it. And he did a lot of other stuff. He tried to, but eventually when they stopped, I don't know, somehow in the early 80s when continuity, Jeanette Kahn took over DC and continuity became a thing. Well, he fell out of favor because they didn't like all of his disrespect for continuity. He left, and throughout the 80s, he wrote for a lot of those cartoons of the 80s. A lot of for the animation companies and stuff.
I don't know who. Whenever I read some of these and these team up ones, I always think of Super Friends, the cartoon, and I don't know who worked on that, but I do know that in Super Friends,
he did.
It was like just like weird. Like there'd be any hero could do any job on any day. It was like it didn't matter. Like it's like you never thought, well, maybe Superman should do this part and Flash should do this. It would just be like, oh, we have Flash. Okay, yeah, Flash can stop the Earth from spinning. It's like, oh, okay. And he would do something weird, or and Batman and Robin would always have to be paired together no matter what. Like Robin could never be paired with anyone else or do anything else, and Batman could never be alone. It was like, okay, Aquaman, you go here, Wonder Woman, you go here, Batman and Robin, you go here. And it brings me back to that kind of simple, Batman can team up with Plastic Man, and Plastic Man can be knocked out in this panel, and then the next panel he can stop a bullet. I don't know. It's like, sure.
They didn't care.
They didn't care. It's like, sure he can. And you didn't think too much about it. And this is sort of why a lot of people I think this style of comics where they think, oh, it's kids junk, as he said, and you said, it's that people think that, and that's why they always look down on comics. It's like, oh, it's kids junk. And they didn't realize that as it progressed, it did get more, I don't want to say adult, but more coherent, maybe is a better word, or they focus more on characterization and stories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He didn't care about characterization. He didn't think it was important. No. But there are other writers, even the silliest, dumbest, loudest, even worst comics, most of those writers thought they were writing above that, and they tried to at least care. It was characterization. Continuity means you have to have characterization.
Right.
When you have no continuity, which he didn't, you don't give a shite about characterization. Why would you? You don't care. I mean, you're just trying to sell a monthly little comic, and they were never connected to anything else. And that's kind of part of the reason why they sold, to be honest. They sold. I mean, his sales were always good for the while until Jeanette Kahn came in and was the one who started pushing continuity, which she's the one who eventually gave us Crisis.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, Brave and the Bold can be silly because you don't think of it as this is the proper continuity. You're like, oh, this is a special team up thing. Yeah, he's teaming up with Plastic Man. Okay, who cares? Like, do whatever you want. And I don't think it affected, it didn't affect Detective Comics or whatever, right? Right. So these team up books are more fun, which is why I actually like the team up books, because I feel that when there's no baggage, I can just pick up any one of them and just kind of read it for fun and not have to worry about where I am in the continuity. Sometimes a lot of continuity does deter people from just picking up it doesn't deter me. Yes. I'll pick up any random book, but these team up books are great. Obviously 2-in-1 is the best,
of course. Oh yeah.
Even for me, Superman's my favorite, but 2-in-1 is awesome. But yeah, it's like pick it up. It's like, okay, that was a fun comic and I don't have to worry about what's happening in the bigger picture of DC. So it's kind of got that freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's fun reading these old comics because a lot of these writers, again, really, Haney thought it beneath him, so he didn't care. and you got other writers who were pretentious and wrote some pretty crazy stuff, and some really, when you look back of it, a lot of the sometimes the story ideas may hold up a little bit. The characters we still love, but some of the writing is very cringy in a fun way. It's fun making fun of it, and I'm sorry to make fun. I don't mean to be mean, but the thing is, a lot of these guys wrote this because they're. Alan Moore talked about this.
Right.
Alan Moore talked about this when he talked about how incestuous the comics art, writing and art, especially writing, is. In other words, a lot of the writers of his time, when Alan Moore was distinguishing himself from the other writers, they were all writing the comics that they read as they were kids.
Right.
So the Marv Wolfmans and the Lynn Weens and the Roy Thomases of the world were writing. They wanted to write how they felt Stan was writing.
Right.
In terms of dialogue, anyway. And they write really cornball. I mean, you read now, even stuff we on Nick's show, for example, a few months back, we reviewed Nova, The Man Called Nova, a comic I loved as a kid from issue 1 through 12. And I still love it. Love the art, loved it. And when you go back and read it now, the dialogue by Marv Wolfman is howlingly bad. I'm sorry. I still love that comic book dearly in my heart. And we had a blast reviewing them. We all did. And a lot of these guys were way younger than me, and they still enjoyed reviewing these old comics of the Bronze Age. And I was more cruel to the dialogue than they were. They still had a blast, but they all understood how cornball it was.
Right.
It was truly, really ludicrously badly written and dumb stories and simplistic stuff. And yet as fun as can be, because they knew what they understood what these things were. But they are purple prose. If that's a term you can apply to comics, they are really written like the comics. Like I said, it's incestuous. They're not, when Alan Moore, he didn't write like Stan. He didn't write like those guys. He wrote poetry and he wrote brilliant dialogue back then, and with extraordinary innovations on older themes. And that's what got him his popularity when he did Swamp Thing and then Miracle Man and later other stuff and his superhero stuff. These guys just recycled all the stuff they read as kids, and I still love those comics. But as far as the writing goes, it's pretentious in the sense, and it's funny. Whereas Bob, it's more fun to read even than those, because it's just nuts. It's bonkers. It doesn't even those stories with the bad writing have some sort of internal logic. Bob throws logic to hell. He doesn't care. Bob Haney just continuity. What's that? Characterization. What's that? This happened in this panel, this page. 2 pages from now, we'll forget about that. Something else will totally go wrong. And by the way, it doesn't matter that guy really would be like 70 now. He's fine. He looks 50. He looks 30. So fine.
Sure.
He looked, he didn't live in that time, but who cares? He does now. This character's superpower doesn't work that way, but it does now, because I don't know what it is. I don't know. He'd probably say stuff like, I don't read these things. How would I know what Green Lantern's powers or how would I know about Plastic Man's powers?
Yeah, doesn't Green Lantern shoot rays out of his ring? There you go. That's good enough. Like, what else would you want?
If someone said, Bob, nobody can really knock Plastic Man out with the butt of a gun. I mean, and later you have him repelling bullets. With his body.
Well, that's the bonkers part. Like, it's like, even if he doesn't know what Plastic Man is before he wrote the comic, he still knows what his interpretation of it is during the writing of the comic, which makes it funnier. Because if I'm writing a character that I don't know, but in my story, he's knocked out by the butt of a gun, and then later he deflects bullets, I'd be like, oh, wait, crap, I messed that up. I got to go back and rewrite that beginning part. But he didn't care. He's like, he may have forgotten. He may have just forgotten by the time he got to that page. He's like, oh, yeah, I forgot that I had him get knocked out so easily. It's like, oh, okay. But we're also talking about this, and look, I'm going to buy these comics, and like, you were buying comics. So it's not even like we're really making fun of it, because we still pay money for it.
We're having fun with them, I like to say.
Yeah, we're having fun. And it is scary to think that it is true. Like you read or you write what you know. And this is why it's going to start to get, as the generations pass, it'll get worse and worse, because the people writing comics now, the next generation is going to be based off what? Like, it's like, so it's scary. At least
nothing.
It'll be nothing, right? That's the problem. But
Bob, Bob is part of that generation that, he came up in the Depression. He was in the Navy during World War II. He grew up in tough times. He was a bare-fisted, guy, like a rugged individuals guy that did all kind of manly things. He was a manly man. You look at the guy like this guy, I write this kid's junk, but it makes me money and I get to go do all the other shit I like to do.
Right.
He was Chevy Chase's, he was married to Chevy Chase's aunt for a while.
Yes, you told me that last time. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's this crazy stuff, but it was a Decepticon says, looks like Bob Haney wrote for first appearances of the Snowman of Hook Mountain and Mum Rana of the Thundercats. Wonder if he created. I doubt he was not the creator type. He probably didn't create many characters. If I were to give it a guess there, Decepticon, they probably just said, "Oh, you're Bob Haney. You can write a script for us fast."
Yeah.
But he said, Haney gets credited credits for characters like Volko, Ocean Master, and Metamorpho in cartoons and video games, at least according.
Yeah.
But he did quote unquote create a lot of those characters. Like he created Sergeant Rock. So I'm not saying he's not. I said that wrong. He is the kind of guy that has created certain characters, but he's not the kind of guy to like create a character that then spend like all of his time writing. I may have just said that wrong. He did create Sergeant Rock, although Robert Kanigher says he did. I think Bob Haney actually did, and he did a lot of stuff. He had a lot of input on creating a lot of characters in comics, but on these cartoons, I don't know.
Yeah, I did read about.
I'll backtrack back a little bit. He did do some creating. What's that now?
I did read about Metamorpho that he helped create that character, which is a bonkers character too, really.
Oh yeah,
so
I love Metamorpho. Yeah, but no, he did. Like I said, he created a lot of characters, but he really never laid claim to many of them except for Sergeant Rock.
Right.
That's what I meant to say. He did create a lot of characters, Sean, so forgive me for that. But the only one he ever was like vehement about that he created. The other ones, if you said, "Hey, you created Metamorpho," he go, "Meta who? Oh yeah." He passed away in 2004. I'm saying later he just didn't care, but he was always adamant about how he created Sergeant Rock, and so was Robert Kanigher. So Robert Kanigher says he did. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, dude, thank you so much for hanging out, man. We're gonna cut it short a little bit here.
Yeah.
So I got to come back on a little bit later. But any final words you have about our tonight's review and the legendary Bob Haney?
No, this was awesome. Again, this is a great issue, and as you just tell me which ones, and we will do it, and I will continue reading those. And I'm having a lot of fun. I started just picking up some random ones too with Brave and the Bold. I tried to actually go back and start from like issue like 50 or whatever it was where it became.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But
nice.
I'm trying to plow through Legion right now, like Superboy and the Legion, because that's like my main thing right now.
Love it.
But yeah, these Brave and the Bolds are great. I'm going to grab a few on the 27th, as I said, with
cool, man. Nice.
I definitely getting these ones that we talked about. I definitely getting that one that I think it's 115 with the Atom or whatever.
Nice.
Those are crazy. So, yep.
Nice, dude. This has been so much fun. I really love doing this, and we'll do it again soon. If you read one here and there, and you want to suggest it to do it, I have no problem with you suggesting.
Sure.
I have a few I'm looking at and vetting. But if you want to say, hey, if you got one, you go, hey, I read this one down the line. Let's do this. Let me know, and we will.
For sure.
I'm just any comic, of course, but also the fact that the wacky world of Bob Haney. So everybody, in about an hour, a little less than an hour and a half, I'll be back on to talk a little bit about Superman Peace on Earth by Alex Ross and Paul Dini. And until then, I just want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight for part one of our Clobby's Classic Comics review double feature. You all are extraordinary, and I appreciate you. Jay, thanks so much. Of course, did you put your?
I put my link.
Okay, J-Man's link to his channel is in the chat. If you have not already, please subscribe and go check out his extraordinary videos and streams. And also, if you're listening later on a download or a rewatch, and thank you if you are, by the way, and thank you if you're lurking. Please, my description in the link below. He's his channel there and the channel of many other good friends. Thank you all so much. I got to go handle a few various things before I come back on the air later. So I want to say again, thank you all, and thank you to the great J-Man. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of fun. What I'll do basically is I'll just play us out with this ad, and I won't even bother just playing in credits. I'll just end there, and then I'll come back in a little bit. Thank you all, everybody.